Hi guys, I wanted to show you guys how to make a great pot or cup of iced tea with loose leaf teas. So there's a few different ways that we can make iced tea out of our loose leaf teas. The first way I'm going to talk about is we do have our line of naturally sweet teas, and this is sweetened with stevia leaf. Now, some people don't, like myself even, I'm not a huge stevia lover, because I find it usually has like an aftertaste, and I don't care for that. I like different sugar substitutes instead that are natural, but the stevia, when you sweeten with stevia leaf itself, it's not processed and broken down like it is the other way that most stevia sweeteners are, how they're processed. So the stevia leaf does not leave the same aftertaste. So most people that don't like stevia actually like this tea and the way that we use stevia in our products. So anyway, so this, compared to iced tea, traditional iced tea, with sugar, it's just loaded with sugar and things like that. This has 0 carbohydrates and 1 calorie. So if you're watching your sugar intake, I challenge you to try some of this. Now, we can also make iced teas with our other loose leaf teas as well, and they don't have stevia in it. So I'm going to show you how to do that too, but first I'm going to show you how to use this product. And so I like to make my naturally sweet teas in my breezy or with a steeping sack. And the reason for that is sometimes at the end of the bag especially, the pieces get broken down and small after a while, and sometimes they can leak through some of these infusers that have bigger holes. And so I just find that you don't have any of that when you use a steeping sack or a breezy or any kind of infuser, I can't talk, that is very, very tiny. And so those are what I like to use for most of our iced teas. We also have our infusers, our mystical infusers and things like that, a very small, tiny opening, and so they would be good too. Okay, so the naturally sweet peach. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm just going to make a serving just for me. I'm going to have, I like my tea stronger, and I use bigger cups usually. So I usually put 2 cup of teaspoons, or that would be 3 regular teaspoons. I'm just going to put that in the breezy, and I'm going to, you can cold steep it or hot steep it. I like to hot steep it. If you cold steep it, you can steep it for longer, and you're not going to risk having a bitter tea. So if you oversteep, this is a black tea, this naturally sweet peach black tea. You can, with black teas, pu'er teas, green teas, you can oversteep them. And when you oversteep them, most people don't realize that they become bitter. So you don't want to oversteep any of those type of teas. Fruit tea, you can steep as long as you want, and the lighter teas is not as important. Anyways, we have this timer, and it's really cool because it has like pu'er tea, oolong tea, green tea, has smaller minutes, and herbal tea, fruit tea, rooibos tea. Anyway, so you can use the tea timer for that, or just use your microwave timer or whatever. So I'm going to steep that for 3 minutes because I like it a little bit stronger. So 2 to 3 minutes for that. And while I do that, I'm going to show you about this concentrate. So I also like to make my teas from like a concentrate, and you can keep them in the fridge. I use my little medium-sized canning jars for that. And what I do, I'm going to scoop. I like to make spritzers, so I usually add either a splash of Sprite, or for me, because I'm watching sugar content, I like SodaStream. And so we usually use a little bit of SodaStream in our iced teas. But if you didn't, I would sweeten your teas if you want it more sweet. I would sweeten it with like sugar or whatever sugar substitute to your taste. But so if I am adding things, I add 2 of these potted teaspoons, or I add 6 teaspoons of tea if you're just using the traditional teaspoon. Now, if I'm not going to add any sweetener or any kind of sugar or anything like that, I would make it stronger. And same with my naturally sweet teas. If I'm going to add any kind of make it a spritzer, I would definitely only add, I would add a little bit less of the actual tea leaves. If you are going to just have it like a regular iced tea, I would add more. So what I do is I'm putting 6 teaspoons, because I'm going to make it a spritzer. And I would use 9 if I wasn't going to make it a spritzer and I'm just adding water. Now you can add our tea leaves that don't have any sweetener in them or sugar. You can make it as like a flavored water, or you can add sugar to sweeten it, and that'll be your iced tea. So what I'm going to do is I just put it in my little infusing sack. I don't know if you saw me, but I did that. And I'm just going to fill it with cold water, so this would be cold steeping. And I'm going to leave it just in the fridge overnight. And then if I want to have an iced tea, it'll be ready for me tomorrow. So then I'm just going to put the lid on that and just leave that in the fridge. You could also just steep it for a couple hours. So as long as you cold steep it for at least 2 hours, then it should be strong enough to make the iced tea. So I could make a pot of iced tea tonight if I wanted to. Now we also have our, I should actually pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm going to take my magical cup. Did you see these magical cups? Look at that. Isn't it pretty? Can go like this? Anyways, I love this. These magical cups always sell out fast. They're very popular. And always popular with my guests when they come over. So the breezy, how it works is you put in your tea leaves into the breezy, it's dancing around in the water for as long as you want, and then when you set your cup underneath, you're just doing that. And then I'm going to just add my own ice cube to that. And then my iced tea is done. Okay, so that's just a regular cup of iced tea. And once the ice is melted, it should be cold enough to drink, and if not, I'll add a little bit more ice. Okay, and I should show you too, our loose leaf teas. Look at the different tea leaves. Isn't that awesome? It is so different. Look, there's these pieces of fruit in there and everything. It's a lot different than what you find in the little tea bags all ground up. Okay, so now I'm going to show you our iced infusing jug. And this is awesome. So with this, I would always use a steeping sack if I have fine tea leaves, like the natural sweet. And I don't mind personally using for the green teas and the larger tea leaves like that. They usually are pretty good with these infusing holes, so I don't even bother. Sometimes there's a tiny little bit of bits, but not enough for me to care how much personally. So I just put them in there. I'm going to put 2 because I'm going to make mine a spritzer. I'm going to show you how I do that. So this type that I'm making, I should have told you before, I love the mango slushy, and that's what I'm making, steeping in the fridge with my cold brew. And this that I just put in the infusion jug is a pineapple rum cocktail. It is so delicious. It's one of my favorites. So what I do is I take this out. So I put the tea leaves in my infuser, but I'm going to pour, see, this is our prism pot. It's awesome because you can heat it. It's so pretty. And you can heat it on a gas stove as well as a regular stove. So you're just pouring water in first so that the tea leaves don't kind of all float to the top. And you just want enough water so the tea leaves are dancing around. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more on the top. And that should be good. And so I'm going to just brew this because I'm going to drink it right away. I'm just going to brew this for 2 minutes. Or 3 minutes, I think I'm going to brew it for 3 minutes. Okay. I'm going to try. good. This one is Naturally Sweet Peach, and it is our most popular tea that we sold last year, I believe. Another thing I like to do with the Naturally Sweet Peach, especially this time of year, I live in the Okanagan, and to slice up some fresh peaches and to put it in your glasses. It's so fancy and it tastes so good. Just a little bit of added peach. Not that you need more peach taste, but it's just pretty and fancy. Anyways, we do have a naturally sweet tea collection, and so if you buy 2 naturally sweet teas, and you also get the infusion jug and a potted teaspoon, which is really handy so you're not constantly, because you know how I said you need 6 to 9 teaspoons of tea for each jug. The potted teaspoons are way faster and it cuts through the tea really easy. But anyways, you save $5 if you buy the set. And 2 teas and the infusion jug and the spoon are a good deal at $89. You get quite a bit of tea with that. Trying to think if there's anything else to tell you, but yeah, so all of our teas are really good iced, and they all make great spritzers as well. If you just want to make it a fun drink, you can add alcohol of your choice and make it a cocktail. So most of our iced teas make great, I think almost all of our teas make great cocktails. Maybe a few of the chais and things like that I wouldn't do, but or maybe with Baileys or a liqueur or something, I don't know. But we're talking iced teas today. So anyways, okay, this is almost done. So I have my soda stream, and so all I'm going to do next is I'm going to add my ice to this, and I'm going to add my either Sprite or soda stream, or you could also just add carbonated water, so you could have like a bubbly, your homemade bubbly, like our carbonated drink, fruit tasting carbonated drink. And I feel like it tastes a lot better than the bubblies and iced teas and things like that myself. It's a lot more flavorful, and that is how you prepare iced teas with our loose leaf teas. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in a comment or message me, and I'm always happy to answer any of your questions. I hope you find this helpful. Have a great day. Bye.